of Weather.tv.
Well, you'll be excited to know that we've reached the rapid fire section of the program here, where you give me short answers to pointless questions for nothing in particular. Start the clock, please. Sherlock Holmes or James Bond?
James Bond.
Twitter, Instagram, or something else?
Snapchat.
Just don't talk to me like that. Oh, Snapchat, right. Anchorman or The Hangover?
Ooh. Both. Anchorman.
All right. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
MJ.
College football or NFL?
College football.
Who is it great to play around with?
Webb Simpson.
Which island do you prefer, Maui or Manhattan?
Maui.
Favorite moment as a sports fan / spectator?
The most recent and only championship I've been a part of in Dallas, which is the Mavs championship in 2011.
Great team, real team.
Dirk taking over at the end.
Yeah, amazing.
Probably my favorite athlete.
Fill in the blank here. I think Ricky Fowler's sense of style is...
Different than mine.
Huh. What's on your iPod?
A bit of everything. Maybe a bit different than Ricky's, though.
How many Taylor Swift concerts have you been to?
Not enough.
How excited are you that in a few years you'll be able to rent a car? Yes, congratulations, you win absolutely nothing.
Thank you very much.
For most of us, our first glimpse of Jordan came during the 2010 Byron Nelson.
This is a great story here, Nick. A 16-year-old amateur, the U.S. junior champion, Jordan Speith, playing very well.
From all accounts, that this man's got game.
A high school star playing on a hometown exemption, Jordan was supposed to be starstruck by the best players in the world.
And he's only 4 back, tied for 7th.
Only no one bothered to tell that to him.
This kid's going to finish well ahead of Vijay Singh, but how about that?
I'm extremely excited to be where I am right now.
You get into contention in that event at 16. What was that feeling like, at that age?
It was incredible. I caught a great week where I was playing my best golf and able to compete. I didn't know what to expect going in. I mean, that first tee shot, my eyes were closed. My hands were moving like this. I mean, only other time I felt that nervous was my first shot at the Ryder Cup last year. It's the only other time I had the same feeling in my hands where if this ball gets off the ground, I'm okay with it, wherever it goes. And it's an odd feeling. And both times I hit a couple of the best shots I've ever hit, but, one little flick of the wrist here or there, it could have changed. But boy, what an incredible week that was, an experience. And
did it change your life?
At that point, I realized I could do this. I could do this for a living, and I loved it. I loved that pressure. I loved coping with it. I loved seeing putts go in, feeding off the crowd. It's just nothing you can experience in junior golf. And we had little crowds here and there. I mean, we had thousands and thousands of people in our group.
It's like you become an addict at that point.
Exactly.
You need to replace that or, make it happen again.
Right. And the problem was at that time, it wasn't going to happen again. It was going to happen maybe once or twice more within the next 2 years, because how often are you going to get PGA Tour starts as a high schooler?
I mean, did you start to think about, being a pro at that point, or had you already?
No, I had already thought about it. But that week, that first Byron Nelson when I was 16, the 2010 Nelson, I knew that if I kept working hard, that not only did I feel that my best could compete on the PGA Tour, but I felt that even on an off week, I could still make a cut. And that's what...
That's 16.
If I kept working. It wasn't going to do so at the time. But if I kept working at it, I felt that even my off weeks, I could still make money. Therefore, I could stay on the PGA Tour and consistently play it.
Jordan wasn't the only one who had a breakthrough at the Nelson that year.
For Jason Day.
You have a little history with Jason as well.
At some point this year, he said something like, "Jords," that's what he calls me. He's like, that my first win was when you were 16. I was supposed to be the young guy winning like you are now, and instead you were the one that was making me look old that week.
Yeah, get away from me, you little bastard.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's funny. It's funny the resemblance and the craziness that has happened this year and kind of the history that when you look back, that was a huge moment for both of us that one day in 2010.
Coming up on Faherty, Jordan takes us back to his first win on tour.
I expected to be struggling to get a Web.com card. All of a sudden, I've already earned my PGA Tour card for next season. I've got unlimited exemptions.
And he shows the world what he's got in his arsenal.
I made a par putt. I had to start about 3 feet outside the hole and just feed it left to right in.